Welcome to S143, Operational Contract Support. Do you notice anything funny about the photo in this picture? Do you think the unit got what they asked for? Please note the key takeaways from this lesson. Much of the content in this lesson comes from JP 4-10 and ATP 4-71, as well as your course readings. We talked about Dr. Akins during a previous lesson. When we discussed mitigating shortfalls, did you consider contracting? What requirements can we meet with contracting? When shortfalls are found in sustainment capability needed to support operations, we often contract specific functions and services to mitigate gaps in our force structure. OCS is the process of planning for and obtaining supplies, services, and construction from commercial sources in support of joint operations. In our doctrine, we have three subfunctions to OCS. They are contract support integration, contracting support, and contractor management. Most of this lesson focuses on contractor management, but we will talk about some aspects of the other subordinate functions depicted here. Take note that except for contracting support, these tasks are performed by the requiring activity, not the supporting contracting organizations. This slide lists the OCS management process that is broken down into 5 different phases that must be planned for to support operations. In your readings, it was noted that planning is the most critical phase in this process and that operational planners must consider how to best integrate contractors into operations. Additionally, in your readings, it was discussed that OCS planning and integration is an operational function, not a contracting function. There are 3 different types of contract support used in military operations. Theater support. These contracts are awarded by service contracting officers deployed in the operational area. External support. These are contracts awarded by contracting organizations outside the operational area. Systems support. These contracts are awarded by services or U.S. Special Operations Command. Key differences include contracting authority, source of commercial capabilities, and management processes. Theater support contracts are executed under higher micro-purchase and simplified acquisition thresholds, while external support contracts are awarded by contracting organizations outside the operational area. System support contracts are funded by directed appropriations and managed through program management offices. Understanding these differences is crucial for commanders and planners as they make decisions regarding contract support in military operations. This slide shows key units within the Army Contracting Command and their support to operational units. Where might you find Mission and Installation Contracting Command, or MIC, personnel? And what contracts do they manage? MIC staff are located on installations, managing contracts for services and systems needed for base and unit operations. Now, think about the Contracting Support Brigade. What services might a contracting detachment provide during a contingency operation? CSBs are the Army's primary theater contracting headquarters handling contracts in support of Army forces in combatant commander-directed operations. They oversee contracting battalions and detachments and can support joint and multinational partners when directed. Contracting battalions handle planning and contracting authority in theaters. They operate from regional contracting centers or offices focused on theater contracts. At the tactical level, contracting detachments support brigade combat teams. They write, award, and manage theater contracts, prioritizing based on unit needs or deadlines. Leaders must coordinate with their contracting team to understand how priorities are set. Now let's move on to the fiscal triad, the grouping that ensures requirements are identified, legal, funded, and that vendors are paid. The fiscal triad consists of financial management, contracting, and legal counsel working together to ensure effective fiscal support. This process covers everything from fund acquisition and certification to legal review, contracting for services, and dispersing public funds to vendors. The requiring activity is central in this process, initiating the contract request by formally identifying the requirement. Each component of the triad must coordinate closely, adhering to laws and regulations to ensure proper fund obligation and prevent fraud, waste, and abuse. Although each element operates independently, their collaboration is essential for successful contract support. The G8 serves as the commander's primary financial management advisor, responsible for overseeing all aspects of resource management and finance operations. The G8 monitors contract expenditures, supports budget change requests, plans for funding, and ensures proper funding streams. Additionally, the G8 acts as the expert on color of money analysis, ensuring compliance with financial regulations. The staff judge advocate plays a crucial role in providing legal guidance on various issues, including status of forces agreements, or SOFAs, international security agreements, host nation laws, procurement fraud, and fiscal law. This legal support extends to contractors authorized to accompany the force, or CAF, C-A-A-F, and includes conducting legal reviews and advising on legal aspects of operational contracts. Contingency contracting officers should begin planning as early as possible, particularly when deploying to unestablished locations. Reviewing plans such as Annex W or base support plans allows these CCOs to develop a tailored concept of contract support to meet the mission's needs. This slide outlines the key steps required to initiate, fund, write, and execute a contract. It's important to note that the units are actively involved in every phase of this process, from determining the initial requirements to ensuring the vendor is paid after contract completion. The process begins with the unit developing the requirements and the commander nominating a contracting officer's representative, or COR. Next, the G4 or Acquisition Review Board validates the requirement. The resource manager then confirms the availability of funds. The contracting officer, or KO, with input from the unit, writes the contract and a panel awards it. It's important for the unit, often at the division level, to be part of this panel. Finally, the COR ensures the vendor is paid after the service is completed. Understanding this contract process is important for leaders when within the requiring command. Now let's look at the key documents produced by the unit that are necessary for a contract. When a contracted service is needed, several key documents must be provided. The independent government cost estimate is prepared by the requirement owner to outline expected costs. A letter of justification signed by an 06 or delegated 05 justifies the contract. The statement of work or performance work statement developed by the KO details tasks and deliverables. Under certain circumstances, a legal review may be required. The purchase request and commitment, PR&C, prepared by the requirement owner formally requests the contract and allocates funds. A cost-benefit analysis assesses the contract's value. The commander nominates a COR to oversee execution, while a draft Quality Assurance Surveillance Plan, or QASP, helps ensure performance standards are met. If government property is involved, a government property addendum is included. Now that we know what documents are needed for a contract, let's look at some problem areas where units may encounter conflicts with contractors once the contract is in place. This slide highlights key differences between managing Army personnel and contractors. Unlike Army units, where equipment transfers are handled with hand receipts or lateral transfers, contractor-related transfers must be done through contract modifications. For example, a government-furnished property, or GFP, remains on the property book but is transferred to the contractor via the contract. Any issues with loss or damage are managed by the KO, and the contractor equipment is not included in standard Army inventories. Another distinction is maintenance. Contractors do not report equipment readiness for Army Maintenance Status System AMSS purposes, and repair parts may or may not be part of the contract. These differences are just a few examples of how working with contractors requires a unique approach, as illustrated in the article Soldiers Are from Mars, Contractors from Jupiter. Establishing an ethical climate in operations is crucial to prevent fraud, waste, and abuse. Leaders play a key role by ensuring proper training is completed by utilizing safeguards like two-person receipt validation. Regularly reviewing requirements timelines can help prevent waste, while ongoing oversight of contracting officer representative reports ensures accountability. Leaders should take online the operational contract support courses or be COR qualified to stay informed. It's essential to recognize outstanding performance in COR personnel and inspect them for proper management techniques. Importantly, never meet with contractors without a KO, COR, or some legal representative present to avoid unauthorized commitments. These actions collectively promote a strong ethical climate in contracting. Commanders must be familiar with the contracting process and integrate it into logistics and operations planning. Develop strong relationships with the contracting team, fully understand your contracts, and support your CORs to ensure contract performance. Prioritize wisely. Avoid gold plating and hold contractors accountable. Protect taxpayer funds by monitoring for fraud, waste, and abuse. Regular meetings with your KO, legal personnel, and COR are essential for maintaining oversight and avoiding unauthorized commitments. SPOT ES is a joint enterprise system used by DoD and USAID and the Department of State to track contracts and contractor personnel in contingency operations. It serves as the central system for contractor accountability, as outlined in DoD Instruction 3020.41. Both company and government representatives are required to maintain by-name accountability of contractors in Spot ES. So this has been a short overview of S143 operational contract support. This video highlighted many of the important aspects of OCS. However, it is not a replacement for a comprehensive study of your assigned readings. During the electives phase this spring, consider signing up for the Alpha 496 OCS course. As a graduate of this course, you will gain the tools and expertise to advise commanders on contract requirements and manage contract support during contingencies. Successful completion of the Alpha 496 course will award you the highly coveted 3 Charlie ASI. Okay, thank you for your time, and this is the last slide. You can stop the video and exit now. It's okay.